Faith Movement's April the 21st, 2019. Happy Passover, happy Easter, and my prayers are going out to the people down in Sri Lanka after those devastating Easter attacks today. On top of that, we're doing this video because these are one of the reasons. We know on April the 15th, the Notre Cathedral was on fire. It was set on fire, and the media and news sites say they do not know how the fire started except electricity in the middle portion of the cathedral. All right. We also know that from April the 14th to May the 3rd is the pagan May Day, also the festival of Easter. All right. And we're going to show you the two reasons why the Notre Cathedral got set on fire. It's both of these reasons in the one. The first reason is the Notre Dame Cathedral was under repair for years. I mean, like, it was just falling apart, and they need money. So the only way they could get money is by shutting down the church, setting it on fire, and getting billions from people to pay for it instead of the church and the government to pay for it and still make a profit. And the second reason is between April the 14th and May the 3rd for this May Day, the ceremony of bringing in what's coming to the world. All right, the rise of the Antichrist spirit and socialism. Like, socialism? Yes, socialism. All right, it's bringing socialism. All these countries around the world, all right, all these democratic countries are turning socialism. You got Democrats and Republicans. It ain't the same democracy. It's been changing over the past decade to the far left, that is communism, socialism, to the far right, that is fascism. Both of those got in common a dictator, head leader that could stay in office as long as possible. So we're about to bring in. Before we get into that, I'm going to show you what happened in Sri Lanka. All right, folks, because my prayers are really out to these families. Are you talking about 200 more people dying, all right, and hundreds wounded for no reason at all except the chaos that's amongst the land. All right, and this is Holy Week, and in this Holy Week we had two things during the ceremony of what's really happening in the unholy half month of the May Day festival to bring in a socialism and the controlling of people. All right, so we know bombs tear through Sri Lanka, churches and hotels, killing more than 200 people. In the next couple days, I'm going to show you what happened. I'm going to dig deep like I'm doing with this Notre Dame piece. The other video I told you, the government also had a plan for themselves, and they used this event to knock down social media. All right. So after the events happened that took place, the attacks on the churches, the hotels, and in front of a zoo, the Sri Lanka government shut down all social media and all websites that had false or misinformation, or believe that in the future or during the day misinformation would come up. All right, no media site, not even major corporation media site, could tell you what's going on until after a few days. All right, folks, you ain't gonna know all the information right now. You got to interview. That's real journalism. It takes time. You got to dig through. You got to see what happened. All right, but the only reason I'm saying that the government uses, it may be a real attack, it may not be a false flag event, but the government uses this to cause chaos amongst the people, all right, because they do want war, all right, they do want to bring in socialism, and Sri Lanka is a democracy state, and socialism, like I said, is spreading, all right, and they're attacking churches, just like Notre Dame started on fire, all that stuff. And what they're doing is causing mass censorship of the people in a democratic country. Some people may need to use Facebook or Twitter to get in touch with their family because they ain't got cell phones, or use some kind of alternative social media to contact their loved ones and tell them that they're okay. From them censoring this, they're censoring what could really go on. And it's a democratic country, Sri Lanka. All right, folks. So my prayers are out to them. And the government used this inconvenience to the world governments watch Sri Lanka as they shut down the world's most powerful social media sites. All right. In this, remember a few weeks ago, UK, all right, was going after social media sites and what they believe is false, right? So this article is going to be at the bottom. UK to Texas, clean up your platforms or face substantial fines. Or in democratic country, in the Western countries, in Sri Lanka, a lot of democratic countries around, democracy countries around the world, you have the freedom of speech, the freedom of journalism. That's what makes democracy, folks. And if you start shutting up, you're going against the First Amendment right here in America, and around the world, they got the same thing, freedom of speech. All right? In England, it's a little different because it's parliament, but the same ideal. You got freedom of information. The freedom of information, folks. All right, so let's get into Notre Dame. All right, and that's one reason they use Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka may have been real, but the government put another agenda within it. All right, so this week, all right, we seen this major fire. All right, and these are the scaffolds in Notre Dame at the beginning, and this is what happened. They still don't know if it's terrorism or arson, but we are telling you right now it is arson, and the person that did it was the French government. All right, folks, and these are the photos, as you can see. It was amazing, this empire, but they got solar panels around the place too. All right, folks. What else happened this week? All right, so we have churches under attack. All right, in this article you can read. They talk about European churches vandalized, defaced, or even torched every single day. And one of these three things happened in France every single day, 2 times a day to a church. And now we're seeing it worldwide. All right. And the following week, last week, we also seen 2 days after the fire at Notre Dame, a guy trying to go to St. Patrick's Cathedral and set it on fire with gas and matches. He got arrested. And today, on April the 21st, the Easter Day massacre of Sri Lanka. All right, so let's get into Notre Dame. So what really happened on Notre Dame? What we know so far, you can read this in the article, at 6:15 the first alarm went off. As soon as that first alarm went off, the ambulances, all the fire rescue, the cops, all that should have been rushing to Notre Dame Cathedral. Instead of that, they ignored it. And they thought, oh, it just went off by accident. 30 minutes later, at 6:45, the second alarm went off. And they started seeing smoke. 15 to 20 minutes later, the fire trucks and the cops got there. They should have got there as soon as it went off. All right, folks. And it took them between 20 minutes, some trucks, to an hour to start getting ready to put out the fire. So between an hour and a half to 2 hours after the fire they started to try to put out this fire. All right. During the week of Monday and Tuesday, those 2 days, mainstream media was talking about what they saved from the fire that day. All right. And first, everyone's image in those first days that they were actually saving statues, and they say before they change it, they got moved days before, they're actually saving priceless arts. But the truth is, three to 4 days before, tourists was watching the statues coming down off the building. All right, the 16 apostles coming off the buildings, and it was after close time. All right, folks, and you do not know if they were taking stuff from inside to moving out. Most likely they were taking everything. It was just kind of weird that 3 to 4 days before the fire, they're moving statues, and most likely they moved all the stuff that was inside out the church that they said that they saved. And then all of a sudden, on April the 15th, a fire happened. All right, something that coexists with the day April the 15th, 107 years ago. all right, is the Titanic anniversary of sinking. It happened between April the 14th and 15th, 1912. So 170 years ago, the Titanic sank, and that brought in the age of the rise of socialism. All right. Now, Notre Dame been going through a modern renovation since the 1980s. All right, folks, and you go right to Wikipedia, and they will tell you about the modern. Hold on, let me get to it. Modern renovation. It started in the 1980s. All right, and in this article, the Smithsonian. All right, and this was published in 2017. Notre Dame is in desperate need of repairs. The Archbishop of Paris has launched a fundraising campaign in hopes of saving the historical structure. All right, so they set up a fundraiser. They said they needed, in this article, $137 in United States money. All right, and in this article by CBS, and this was just last month on March the 30th. All right, Paris crumbling Notre Dame Cathedral hopes wealthy Americans will help save it. For 13 million visitors per year, Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris soars in splendors, but beyond its facade, look closely and you'll see that the majestic medieval monument is falling apart. Now, Foundation of France hopes Americans will donate money to help save the place that is home to some Catholicism, important relics, including the crown of thorns, said to have been worn by Jews. You guys can read the rest of this article. All right. So what happened? What happened? All right. So the only way to shut down, all right, everyone knows that Notre Dame is a major religious institute that's owned by the city of Paris that the Catholic Church use. All right. It costs 137 or 119 between, they got two different on both of those articles, between 119 US dollars to 137 million US dollars to repair the whole roof. All right, the whole roof and the foundation, all right, if they have to do that and did it one day at a time, they would not be able to repair it. That's why it took them so long to keep on repairing it, is because to take down the roof, you would have to shut down this place for between 2 to 3 years, and it ain't going to open up anytime soon to the year 2022. All right, so instead of closing it down, taking the roof all the way down and putting on a new roof and being shut down, they'd be losing money. All right, tourists and people go there, that is Catholicism, to this cathedral, pay money, get relics, all that stuff inside, you know, little souvenirs. All right, and they still didn't have enough money. They need 137 million. They've been saying that for years. All right, so they never got enough money. All right, but by them burning down the roof, all right, they just took down all the roof that needs to be repaired. All right, and everyone funded in money, donations from billionaires, hundreds of $1 million. Right now, the donations are over $1 billion for the repairs. They got enough money to shut down, not worry about people visiting, buying it, and still people are going to visit the outside of it. But they got enough money to be shut down, repair everything in Notre Dame Cathedral. So that's the real reason why they burned it down, was to make money and for other people to pay for the cathedral. All right. On that same day, they also stopped the interview that Emmanuel Macron was going to give to the public because the Yellow Vest movement been going on for 5 months. All right. Also, something that's crazy is Notre Dame claimed that Nostradamus predicted this. All right, now this is the ceremony. Like I said, 100 years before it, the Titanic sank, and it started the revolution of the socialism and communist rise in the world. All right, and that's going to be in part 2.